Hey guys, welcome back to another Dry Fire Tools of the Trade. Today we're going to demonstrate how to fold a tourniquet. There are a couple of different ways. I'm sure there are a ton of different ways. I have specifically picked out 3 different ways for your convenience. So you can set up the tourniquet however you wish or however it works for you. Specifically, the main ways we're going to talk about is flat folding, and that way it is concealable, because I do believe that if you carry a firearm for self-defense, you should have some type of medical training, whether that starts out with basic first aid, CPR, all the way up to basic trauma such as stop the bleed, something like that. Self-defense is more than just shooting and doing all the cool guy stuff. You are much more likely, at least in my opinion, to use your medical skills than your shooting skills. So let's get to it. As you can see here, I have a training tourniquet. Please do not use your regular or your daily tourniquet as a trainer. Even if you buy a regular tourniquet, which is, I highly recommend the CAT Gen 7 from North American Rescue, please mark it somewhere. That way it is a training tourniquet. As you can see here, this is a safety blue. I use this one specifically for training. And as always, guys, you should keep up with your skills. So if you do carry medical or a tourniquet, buy a trainer and every now and then apply it to yourself. Teach your loved ones how to apply it, that kind of thing. That way you stay fresh with it. So let's get to it. As you can see here, I have a tourniquet that is unthreaded, right? It's just unraveled there. All I'm going to do with this first one here is I'm going to thread it through the first buckle here, and I'm going to pull it down approximately 6 to 8 inches. Now, pro tip is the average adult male, this first knuckle to the thumb is approximately 1 inch. What I like to do here is from the tip of the end of the tourniquet, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then come over here and simply fold it flat. Okay, so you've got about 6 to 8 inches. On this side from the windlass retainer, you can either have the 1 inch past this windlass retainer. I generally prefer wrapping it all the way around and having it nice and tight from the windlass retainer. Okay, so from there, you can see I've got it nice and flat. This is pretty similar to how it's going to come out of the package, just so you guys know. All right, from there, I'm going to fold it directly in half. So approximately right there is where my fold point is going to be, which again, guess what? It's about 1 inch from the buckle where you thread the tourniquet through. So all I'm going to do there is fold it in half on top of itself. As you can see there, bada boom, bada bing. Very flat, so all I would do there is take my tourniquet there, and this thing is about as flat as it's going to get. It's very narrow. It fits perfectly into a Filster flat pack, or specifically in any pouch that I have experience with. So whether you have a pouch for concealment, or you have a pouch that goes on some type of duty rig, there are some bigger, bulkier pouches that do a better job of truly protecting the tourniquet. So that's that there. So from there, if I had to flick it out, as you can see there, the problem is it sticks to itself. So now I've got a pretty big loop. So if I had to thread it through an arm or an extremity, I could do so, but it does stick to itself. So show you guys one more time. Start from the beginning, thread it through the first hole in the buckle. Count them out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and one more, 6. So from there, I'm simply going to line up the tourniquet and fold it nice and flat and tight there. Again, from the windlass retainer, I like to fold mine flat and nice and even. So from there, take about a halfway mark, fold it. As you can see there, I'm folding it down on itself. It's going to kind of stick to itself, so just kind of make it work. Bada boom, bada bing, right there. Once again, all I'm going to do is put the windlass right there, and there you go. Very flat, very narrow, and it's about 6 to 7 inches across, so you can mount it horizontally on your belt or vertically. So that's the first one, and that's a pretty popular method there. It's very simple, it's very easy to remember. So let's get to the second step. All right, the second way that I prefer to fold a tourniquet is my personal favorite. I picked up this little trick from John Hopton of Filster, which I love his products, but that being said, this is where I learned that from. I like this method because, as I will demonstrate, the tourniquet does not stick to itself as easily, and it's very, very, very flat, and I'll show you some of the other advantages as we get to them. So again, I've got this thing undone. All I'm going to do is, once again, I'm going to thread the tourniquet through the first buckle there. I'm going to pull it through and make it even with the windlass retainer, like so. Let me go ahead and get this tourniquet folded underneath itself. There we go. So as you can see there, I've got the tip of the tourniquet even with the windlass retainer. I'm simply going to fold it straight down on itself like so. Again, you can leave this 1 inch right there, as you notice right there, boom, roughly 1 inch. I simply prefer rolling the tourniquet down that way. So from here, all I am going to do is, from the buckle end, I'm going to fold it back underneath itself like so. So you can see there, I've got the nice smooth tip of the tourniquet. From there, I am simply going to pull the tourniquet back around to itself. So as you can see on camera, I've already got it pretty flat, but I've got this big loop here. Now, this is the trick that I prefer to do. All I am going to do is use the windlass to my advantage. Again, I prefer to carry most of my stuff in a concealable manner as part of my everyday carry, so this is why I like it. I'm going to roll it up front on top of the tourniquet, because the windlass obviously isn't going anywhere, so we might as well put it to work. All I'm going to do is, as I put it back straight, this tourniquet will help keep that loop folded down. So as you can see there, it is very flat. I've got a little thicker spot there, but again, on a flat pack or any of your concealable pouches, which I will do a review on a later video, we'll talk about the advantages of that. So it fits in pretty perfectly there. So if I were to fold this back over there like so, I'm still getting that extra thickness, but now I have Velcro sticking to itself. So that's why I like this method. Roll it over there, tourniquet on top to help retain that loop. Boom. So again, so now, as you can see there, I let it go. As you guys heard, if you were paying attention, there was no nylon sticking to itself. The tourniquet simply fell apart, and now once again, I could thread it through an extremity, something like that. So if I had to flick it open, I could do so. So it's very simple, very easy, very concealable. So one more time, like we did the first time, I'll try to demonstrate everything at least twice. Again, simply thread it through the first buckle there, or the first loop. Take the tip all the way to the windlass retainer. I'm going to go ahead and get this on there, like so. Fold it over nice and flat. From there, again, my loop, I prefer having it nice and even. You can go up to 1 inch to help distance or changing the thickness of the tourniquet. That's what that's going to help control. So from there, again, let it loop, let it come undone. Roll the tab where the red tip is back towards the windlass retainer. One time I'm going to Z fold it down. And if you notice, I now have this little loop. Basically what I'm going to do is smooth side to smooth side. Push the tourniquet to where I have that loop. I push it forward. If you think about it like that, pushing the loop forward, that may help you guys push it back towards the buckle. Roll it flat over like so. Take the windlass back over, and now it's very flat, so it's kind of hard. I can usually get this a little bit flatter. It's just kind of hard to do when I'm on camera and the way I'm manipulating things, but you get the drift there. So pretty simple. All right, guys, so the last and final method that I have to flat fold a tourniquet is not necessarily for concealment. It is a fantastic way, in my opinion, that if you have a car kit or something like that, and if you find yourself being the first responder onto the scene of an accident and someone's big toe is up by their belly button, or a limb is pinned and you still need to apply a tourniquet or something like that, while you can use this method or unthread the tourniquet with the other methods, I like having the tourniquet set up for just such an occasion. That way I don't have to worry about it. And it's just a kind of a neat method, but I hope it works for you. I'm just trying to give you guys some options. So what we're going to do is obviously unthread the tourniquet. From here, I prefer having, this is where I do use the 1" from the windlass retainer. Make a little loop around my finger there, and from there I am simply going to Z-fold it down, line it up with the buckle. It's going to be weird on camera because it's kind of weird, gets a little unruly here. Z-fold it down, Z-fold it down. Oop, see, done messed up. Let me try that right there. Z-fold it down, and I can roll it back kind of halfway, because all you want there is just enough length here to get it back through the buckle there. All I'm going to do is roughly take it there, fold it around, and fold it around on itself. So don't worry, I'll try to do a better job when I demonstrate this again, but you can see there I've got a little bit of a loop, kind of a long loop there. It's why it's kind of sloppy. Usually I get just a touch more slack here on the end here. So what I like to do is call this the pop top method. So as I take the tourniquet and spread it apart like so, what I will do is get the buckle, put it in my hand, just like you kind of would popping the top on a can, cold beer. What you're going to do is take the thumb straight underneath the tip of the tourniquet, pop it there. So now, as you can see, I've got full control right there, roughly about an inch tab of the tourniquet itself, and the buckle is in my hand. So once I have to wrap it around the extremity, I can. So what I'm going to do is simply control right there. Now I can pull on the tourniquet and do what I got to do. So it's very simple to undo the tourniquet, thread it around the extremity, and then apply the tourniquet like so. So let me try to demonstrate that, make it a little bit cleaner next time. So again, this method, go ahead and undo your tourniquet. What I like to do is roughly the 1". So right there, about the 1" part. Take it about even with the buckle and Z-fold it on itself. Let's see if I can make this a little cleaner for you guys. So from there, now from here, you only want to come back halfway up the tourniquet and then back on itself there, because if you go all the way up, you're not going to have enough slack. That's why we don't do that. Now, in all honesty, you could just let it go like this and then just take the tourniquet that way. You're not wrong. However, I like this because I am retaining the tab of the tourniquet itself. So about halfway on the tourniquet is going to be about the strap of the windlass, roughly, just so you guys know. So again, back on itself, going from there, and then wrapping it around through the first buckle. Now what I was talking about is I prefer having this retained, and I don't want it flopping around, because in an emergency, the whole point of this method is I can take the tourniquet, spread it out like so, pop, and then pull it. I can use the buckle while pulling it, and it helps break that Velcro seal or the Velcro catch right there. So again, I can still sew it. I've got a very small manageable part of the tab. I can go back there, reapply the tourniquet, and go from there. Okay, so those are 3 methods. I really hope this video helps. Again, dry fire is not just about the firearm. We can dry fire anything we do on the range, whether that is firearms, medical, knife access, anything you can think of in regards to self-defense. We can do some type of drill dry by ourselves in the comfort of our own home and continue to improve. And that's what I hope for every single one of you.